What up fam, welcome back to my channel. So this video is sponsored by UniWigs, and they were kind enough to send me their straight Remy human hair full lace wig. It's 24 inches in the color 1B, and this was my first time opening the package, so I'm just showing you guys what came in the package. So here's the full lace wig. It was kind of tangly. I couldn't really run my fingers through it, and it did smell pretty good. They actually had like this package of jasmine perfume beads in the package to make the hair smell good. And it came with 2 weaving caps, it came with a paddle brush, and some clips. And code Ahliyah 10 to save 10% off your order. These wigs go for $300. That is pretty expensive, but they are human hair, so $30 will be taken off of your order if you use code Ahliyah 10. Yes. Okay, so first thing I did not like about this wig is that it did not come with an elastic band. So the wig was just a lace wig. There was no elastic inside of the cap, and I did not have any elastic bands on me. So that was my mistake. I do need to go out and buy some. You can probably get some from your fabric store, so next time I go to the fabric store I'll grab a few. So this wig was slipping and sliding everywhere, and you're going to see it just slipping and sliding on my head every time I would pull it or brush it. So that was kind of annoying. That was kind of a con to this wig. No elastic band. So right now I'm just placing the wig on my head, and then I'm just trying to see where my hairline is best natural, if that makes sense. So I can cut the lace to a natural, perimeter around my head. So right now I'm just brushing the hair out and brushing it back so I can start cutting the lace. Now I'm just going to take it off after I kind of see where I want to cut the lace, but it's just easier if I first start cutting it on my head. And I'm just using some regular hair cutting scissors that you can get at your beauty supply. This is probably not even the best example of how to cut the excess lace, so you probably don't even want to follow my example. Just make sure you do not cut your actual real hair. But this was just easier for me. I actually just started to get frustrated just because it wasn't cutting right. So I just snatched that wig right off my head and then just cut the excess lace off camera. So right now I'm just going to do a side part. I did want to go for a Rihanna haircut. I was going to cut this hair very short, but it was 24 inches and I was kind of feeling the length, you feel me? So then I was like, I think I want to go for an Ahliyah side swoop. Not me Ahliyah, I mean Ahliyah the singer. So I'm just fixing my wig cap, which I do recommend getting a flesh tone wig cap just because the lace is going to pick up on whatever's underneath the wig. So if you have a flesh tone wig cap, it's going to blend in and look the most natural, you feel me? Just so the hair would lay down as I'm trying to part it, I'm just taking some eco style argan oil gel with a toothbrush and just flattening out the hairs so they're not in the way of me trying to part my hair, because this hair it was not laying. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't laying, so I had to force it down just so I could get a nice part because it was getting in my way and I was getting a little frustrated. I am fairly new at cutting and styling hair, but don't worry you guys, I'm not going to leave my wig cap just chilling like that all exposed. I'm going to fix it, but as I said, the wig had no elastic band, so it was just slipping and sliding everywhere. But do not worry, I'm going to get it together. But I'm just going to push back my wig cap just so it's not all exposed like it just was, just so it can look natural. And I didn't even need to pluck the front part of this wig because as you can see, it already looks very scalp like. There's no need for me to pluck it anymore. My scalp is showing it looks very realistic, so there was no need for me to pluck. I didn't even add concealer because it did look like my natural scalp color. Before I had the idea of an Ahliyah side swoop, I was just going to straighten my hair just so I can prep it for trimming it and cutting it, and so my hair could lay and the part could stay in its place and no flyaways would mess up my part or anything. So I'm just roughly straightening my hair. You know, I'm not doing any set pattern or anything, just roughly straightening, oh my gosh, I can't talk, just so we can lay. Okay, so while I'm straightening my hair, I'll just, give my opinion on this hair. It was very silky, it was very soft, it just tangled really fast and really easily. Like, it would always tangle. Every time I run my fingers through it, it would be tangly. Every time I ran a comb through it, it would be tangly. So I did not like that. I didn't like that it didn't come with an elastic band. So if you do want to purchase a wig from UniWigs, just make sure to have elastic bands on deck. This hair straightened very well. It just didn't hold the curl very well. So when I was curling it, you're gonna see when I was curling it with the flat iron, it just wouldn't hold the curl that I wanted it to hold, and I didn't really like that. I didn't want to put any product in the wig to ruin it right off the bat, so it didn't really hold the curl very well. Another thing I really liked about this hair was like the realistic scalp it had. Like, I didn't have to pluck the front part of the wig to make it look realistic to my scalp. It was very, like a realistic scalp, like in the front. But I did notice in the back of the wig, like, it just had this weird kind of growth pattern, if that makes sense. Like, hair was going in different directions. Like, it wasn't laying straight back. It was like, have you ever seen someone's head, like in the back of their head, and their hair pattern kind of twirls? If that makes sense, that's how it was laying in the back. So I didn't really like that. I don't know why it was made like that, but it was kind of frustrating, and it wouldn't, when I was straightening it, it just wouldn't lay. Okay, so now I'm gonna start cutting my hair, or cutting this wig. I didn't really know where I was going with it at this point while filming, so I just started snipping. I'm cutting in like a diagonal. I feel like I like the way hair lays when you cut it this way, so I just started cutting it in a diagonal. I wasn't really sure what style I was going for. I was like debating between Rihanna, like her Good Girl Gone Bad album cover, if you guys remember that album. I was gonna cut this wig that short, but then I don't know, I was just playing with it. I didn't really want to rock 24 inches, so I was just slowly bringing up the length. This hair was pretty lustrous. Like, I like the lustrousness that it was giving me. Like, no oil, no product, no nothing. It's very shiny and silky and smooth. I just wish it didn't tangle us so much, but overall, I really like this wig. Alright, and once I grabbed this part of the hair and then started cutting diagonal, it just hit me like boom, I want an Ahliyah side swoop. So I referenced this picture right here. Rest in power to this queen. I love her so much, and I love this side swoop. So I really try to channel this style in styling this wig, and that's when it just hit me. I was like, yes, I want an Ahliyah side swoop. So I just started cutting my hair in that sort of, demeanor. For the front part of the hair, I started cutting in the opposite diagonal. So when I was doing, the back of the hair, I was cutting in, a diagonal that's opposite from what I'm cutting it right now. Just because I thought the side swoop would lay better. I don't know, you know how your creative mind just works as you're cutting, you can't really explain it. Anyways, that's what I just decided to do. And I just start chopping it, vertically? Just so it's not as blunt. I didn't want a blunt cut. I wanted it to look, natural. And for the rest of the footage, I'm really just playing with the cut. So I'm curling my hair in and then cutting it some more, and then curling it in and cutting it some more, just so I can see how it lays when I curl it in. And you can see, like, my flat iron isn't curling the hair like I would want it to. Like, when I use this flat iron on my hair just curls right then, the perfect curl that I wanted. But I don't know, this hair just wasn't holding the curl like how I wanted it to. And really, this whole time I'm just experimenting. I just keep cutting and then curling, cutting and curling. I just really wanted to get the perfect side swoop bang from the queen. But yes, really, this whole footage I was experimenting. I opened the package right on camera. I saw the wig for the first time right on camera. I really just started chopping my hair right on camera. I did not prepare for this, so I'm just showing you guys how I'm cutting and styling it. And honestly, if you want to learn how to cut and style wigs and weaves, really just experiment. Like me, I'm just having fun. You should know what you're doing as far as cutting, because you don't want to make yourself look crazy, but just experiment, just, you know, trial and error. And then as you can see, I'm just, see how it lays, like when you cut it in the diagonal I was cutting it in. I love how it lays, like it lays natural, like it's real hair. And then I'm just going to do the same thing to the other side, but I'm going to cut it in the opposite diagonal direction, if that makes sense. Am I making sense? I'm pretty much showing you guys how I'm cutting the whole wig. First, I just like to do a rough cut, and then I like to go in the same direction of the hair, as you can see right now, just so it isn't a blunt, straight across cut that looks too perfect. I don't want the wig to look too perfect. I want it to look, you know, natural, realistic, effortless. You want that shit to lay, you feel me? And honestly, fam, I was a mess this whole entire video. Like, I was getting so frustrated because the wig kept shifting and I didn't have an elastic band to hold it in place. But I kept it together, and honestly, I'm very proud of how it came out. I'm very proud of my efforts into achieving, you know, what I wanted to achieve. I didn't entirely get the side swoop down, you know, so I didn't and completely mimic the Ahliyah picture that I was, you know, trying to channel. But I think I did a pretty good job, and I'm pretty proud of myself. But honestly, I'm just trying to get like everything perfect, and I think that's why I was getting so frustrated, because I really was trying to get the side swoop perfect and the bump perfect, but it just wasn't coming out. But it came out pretty good, and I'm just trying to make both sides even. I just continue to cut some more. I probably cut off a good 4 inches, 5 inches, so it became like a 20 to a 19 inch wig style. Woo, but y'all, make sure y'all got a vacuum cleaner on deck, because hair was everywhere. And when I mean everywhere, it was on my lap, it was on the floor, it was on my mirror, it was on everything. So just have a vacuum cleaner on deck when you do this. And fam, let me know if you want to see like me dye like a weave or a wig, because I was gonna dye this hair, but I didn't want to mess it up, because I'm still fairly, how do I want to say this, I didn't want to mess up the hair, you know what I'm saying? I didn't want to mess up a $300 wig, but I do have other hair coming, and I do want to dye it, you know, fun colors like periwinkle, or, you know, pink, Barbie pink, you feel me? I really want to do those videos, because I love hair. I love just creating, like I love creating anything. Like literally, I think I'm just like a natural creatist. Is that a word? Creatist? I'm really just in my zone this entire video. Like, do you see how focused I am on cutting? I was really serious. Like, I was really determined to get this Ahliyah swoop. Like, I was so determined. I was like in my zone. And also, if the homies are interested, UniWigs is actually having like a Christmas promotion, which is better than my coupon code. But you know, if you love me, you'll use Ahliyah 10, you feel me? No, but really, they're having this dope Christmas promotion, like $80 off a $300 wig. Like, that's a deal. Like, that's better than my 10% off. But who cares? It's now until Christmas. It's linked, or all the details are in my description bar. So if you are interested in experimenting with their wigs, I think they're pretty good. They're like an intermediate wig. Just check my description bar. I did end up making the part a little deeper, just because I felt like it was too towards the middle and wasn't Ahliyah-ish. So I moved the part, and so I'm just cutting according to how I move the part, just because some hair from the other side transferred to the opposite side, and I'm just trying to bump the hair. And it just wasn't working, but it's okay. I was just trying to bump the hair, trying to get that side swoop bump, and I just kept messing with it and cutting some more and messing with it. But altogether, it came out really good. Don't worry, you guys, I'm going to fix the front part so my wig cap isn't, you know, visible. I'm going to fix it, don't worry. I would never leave it like that. See, I'm just playing with it, and it's laying okay. It just wasn't bumping the way I wanted it to bump. Like, I really wanted an Ahliyah side swoop, but it just came out, you know, like a basic ass side swoop, but it's good. Overall, I think this wig is pretty dope. I do not think it's for beginners. I think it's for people who are experienced with wigs. So if you're a beginner, you've never bought a wig before, never had a wig, I would not recommend this as your first wig. But if you're more experienced into customizing wigs and styling wigs, I would recommend this wig for you. And I'm just going to, you know, softly gel down some baby hairs just so it can look more natural, more realistic, so I can hide some of the lace that's peeking out. But overall, I love this hair. It's very soft, very lustrous. It just gets tangly, but it's a very good intermediate wig that I would recommend to my fam. And if you would like to purchase, check my description bar. I love you guys so much, and thank you for watching my video.